Hi everyone, Don here with DX Flow, and just a really quick video. This is not one that I was planning, but I came across something and I was really excited by it, and I really wanted to be able to share it with people. So this is an image from a video, my sort of next video coming up that I'm currently working on, playing around with the edit, and I stumbled across this feature, which was not originally intended to be part of my next video, but I just thought I needed to share it. So have a quick peek. We've got three images here. That's the same image. It's the main virtual copy 1 and virtual copy 2 across the bottom. I'm currently on virtual copy 1, which does not have the horizon fixed, and it is currently got in the compare space virtual copy 2, which does have the horizon fixed, with the traditional technique of using this tool to straighten the horizon and then adding a crop to get rid of the black borders that might come about as a result of that. So as I click compare, you'll be seeing this image compared to this image. And you can see quite quickly that the horizon does straighten up, but I'm also losing quite a bit along the bottom where the crop happens. And because this is already so tight with this one, I really don't want to lose that crop space. It's just a little space, but it makes a big difference. So I started thinking, what else could I do? And so I came across this thought. So if I now select to compare against the master image, which is using a different technique, you can see that the horizon is straightening up, but there is no crop. It's just the horizon shifting. And for the keen-eyed among you, you might know straight away that this is because I have used the reshape tool. So this tool right here, reshape fusion. And you will only have this if you have viewpoint 5 installed. So I know this will be a new piece of software for some of you that you don't currently have. Just keep in mind, if you do want to play with this, you can always download a free trial at the DxO website. 30 days, and there's no limitations. It's not going to put any kind of watermarking on or anything like that. So give it a try if you're keen. I've got two ways to get at this tool. Obviously, it's right here, and that's the way I generally do it. But over here, there's also an incarnation of the tool as well, which I could click down there. So let's quickly have a look at how this is done. I am not a pro with this tool, I have to admit. I've just been dipping into it. I've had it for a little while now. Haven't had a chance to really get my head around because it is heaps more powerful to the point that it actually took a little bit of a mindset shift for me to start to use it. So if I grab the tool, it's going to open up an overlay, some extra information. Something, just to put it out there, on one occasion earlier, I clicked on the tool and then I was waiting for something to load up. And if you leave your cursor up there, nothing shows on the screen. It doesn't actually give you the screen overlay until you bring your mouse over. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that you bring your mouse down. That one caught me by surprise. So what do I know about this? Again, I am the first to say that I am new to this, but I did want to share. We've got grid sizes over here, so you can alter how many, and basically that's, how fine a detail you want to be working on, etc. You can see this one's 32 by 32. If I just bring this back to something a bit wider, I also have the ability to use merge and subdivide. So subdivide is just doing the same thing. It's kind of upping the count. Merging is downing the count in that regard, so you can take it down quite low. I'll subdivide again, take it to about there. I think that's where I'll use it. And then we've got over here a free transform, a perspective, and a volume deformation, which I'm going to be using the free transform. I'm not going to go into the other two right now. And then the ability to alter your line color. So if you wanted to, maybe if you were working on a blue image, for example, and you couldn't see the lines, then you can shift that. Down below, by its nature, I think it'll be on the move tool. Move tool is just what it sounds like. If I grab one of these and yoink it up, it's going to shift that space. I'll just reset that. The rotate tool, just keep in mind that for rotation, you have to have like more than one, from what I can tell at least, selected. So you can add that kind of a swirly swirl. Currently, you'll notice it's quite a wide impact, and I just realized I've got my propagation left up. So by its nature, the propagation will be a bit lower, and that impact will be a little more localized. So this propagation basically spreads out the impact, if that's a way to put it. And then here we've got scale, and it's just, again, you're going to select a number of them like this perhaps. and then maybe I want to make that bit of the rock a bit bigger, for example. And obviously, that looks a bit funny. That is where the propagation comes out. If you're trying to make it look a bit more natural, you can kind of spread out the impact so that it's not so localized. I'm not sure that I'll ever get that one to look right, but hopefully you get the idea of what I mean. Reset that. So for this one, it is actually a pretty simple trick in the end. It took me a little while to find out the best method. At first I tried shifting some of these points up, but I could never get them perfectly straight. Then I thought to myself, well, rotation might be just the thing. That makes a lot of sense. Before I get into my rotation, I'm going to come to my view menu and I'm going to put on a grid overlay, which has given me the basic grid, which just gives me some straight lines to judge against, because judging straight can be quite difficult. And I'm also going to want to propagate a bit. So let me show you what that'll look like. So I'm going to grab this line. So it's grabbed all of those points along the line, and you can do that. You can grab single points, or you can click and drag to grab multiple points. So currently the red indicates that's what's going to be altered, and only that. And if I come down here to the propagation and start to drag that up, you see how the next line out suddenly turned green. So that's saying that that's going to get a little bit of impact. If I keep going with the propagation, suddenly the next line out turns yellow. That's getting it a little bit more. So it's easing off. So the red is the full impact. It's getting a touch of it, and it's getting just a smidge, just a shake of it, just to help blend it in. The other thing that's important to this technique is that I've got sticky borders turned on. And sticky borders basically means that as I turn and twist and whatnot, it won't pull away from the sides. It's always going to try to respect that line there, so it won't give you black, background on any of those spaces. So with that, I'm just going to come in a bit so that I can see a little bit more. Maybe just go this way. And I will just hold down my spacebar so that I can readjust my positioning. And now I'm going to hover over the line. You can see the tool changes, and I'm just going to twist. This is going to do the rotate. And now I'm just using my eyes to try to judge that horizon is straight. And I think that that's probably pretty good. So I'm going to leave that there. And I will just kick back out again. And I will press escape so that gets rid of the overlay on the screen. And I'll go to view and grid overlay off again, just to have a nice clean look at that. And I think that horizon looks pretty. Again, every time I look at a horizon for too long, my eyes start to say, is it straight? What's happening there? But, I had the grid overlay. It was pretty darn straight. And then if I want to just see before and after of only the reshape tool, I can do before and after. And, if I do that a few times, I can kind of look to see, are there any weird anomalies that I don't want to be there? So I know Viewpoint's been out for a while. I may be a little bit late to this game. But this has made me super excited to do a little bit more playing with it in different scenarios, because that is spectacular. I love that approach. There's no need for any kind of generative fill. Anyway, with that, I'm going to try and keep things short. I'm going to say thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk again soon. Remember, I do have another video in the works, should be out in the next day or two. And with any luck, I might even have a new 15% off code. I'm in the midst of getting one organized. So if it's not with the next video, it'll be with the one after that. But if you're thinking about buying if you're doing a new purchase of DxO software coming up soon, keep that in mind. I'll have a 15% coupon coming up. So anyway, bye for now. Talk soon.